see it. Well, it's pretty well stocked this time in Tier 1 here. So, for those who are just joining us, welcome to round 5 of the Tier 1 Championship here in ALR. And well, quite frankly, we're on a run of 7 wet races in a row. Are we going for 8? Given that we're at one of the tracks which is usually the most prolific in terms of wet races, I would be banking my money on yes. Yeah, we just went on a couple of people, then we should be good to go for the entire thing. Looking forward to this qualifying, and then 22 laps, sorry, of Belgium. It could be a very interesting time, this one. A lot of things could change because especially if this ends up being wet, this is one of the tracks that usually throws a huge surprise or two in there when it's wet. So we'll wait and see what is on the cards for tonight in just a little while here. Yeah, so it's round 5 here. Let's go very quickly over the standings and get them up real quick. Let's get over the standings so we can get a better look, a better understanding of where we are right now. It looks like we've got 19 people in the lobby for tonight. Things you absolutely love to see. It looks like we're all but ready to go. So, wow, everyone starts readying up. We're going to go over what is the actual standings here. So, through 3 actual races that counted, and Australia, which will go probably to the back now, we'll do later on in the season. So we have Mitchell and Stell both on 54 points. So huge day possibly coming here at the top of the title. There you got Bloodwave on 48, BR4 on 45. And they're the only 4 that realistically stand a chance in terms of the championship here. We've got a few in the mid-pack currently, 20, 16, 16 for Aries, Alu, and Menley's respectively. There's not an awful lot going on elsewhere. In terms of the Constructors' Championship, you've got McLaren on 62, 54 for the Alpines, the 54 for the Ferraris, and then 52 for the Alfa Romeos, and the rest need to get going and get something on the board. Looks like Mitchell is the one we're missing here. So we'll see what is all going on in this qualifying session. Mitchell should join us very shortly. It'll be him versus... Oh my Jesus fucking Christ.
Conditions were bad due to a late shower of rain, causing Hamilton to spin before resuming his lead in the closing lap, where Raikkonen crashed. Stewart went on to...
Oh God, it's more rain in Tier 1 of ALR.
Spectators today from our Belgian locals to fans from around the world. Special guest Timmy Porter will be enjoying the weekend from his seat in Eau Rouge.
Alright, let's see if there's actual rain in the race. This is unbelievable, this run of rain.
A feat since matched by only one other driver.
More rain here in qualifying here in Tier 1.
A great example of the lack of safety considerations and requirements of the time. It was and is still used as a public road. Aside from a few bales of hay, the circuit remained unchanged on a race weekend.
Alright, it doesn't look like we've got rain in the race, but it is going to be so in qualifying. The real question is it intermediates or is it wet tyres? It looks like it's intermediates to start with. Baraka as DC'd from the session. But I guess we can chalk. Let's see what the streak is. I'm pretty sure it is. Alright, well, I guess we're following Millsy. Well, actually, not following Millsy, because Millsy's not the first one out. There is a McLaren out on track as well, and that McLaren is Bloodwave. So, current third place in the championship. Bloodwave out on the track. Stell is not here today. So, as it stands, with Mitchell not showing up either, there is a huge opportunity here for Bloodwave to take the lead of this championship from Stell and from Mitchell. We'll figure out whether or not that's going to happen as we go along in this one. The rain is a big equalizer though, usually anyway. We'll see what that's going to cause in this race here. Bearing in mind that we still have BR4 here. BR4 is in with a shot as well, currently fourth in the championship, but is your reigning champion at the moment, so you can't count him out. Also got Baraka, who is absolutely lightning quick and probably will win this race regardless. Also got a couple of new names that I don't, a new name that I don't recognize. In the other Alpine, Miguel, in this race as well. We'll figure out whether or not he's going to have an impact. I don't know, Factor is usually something that can swing a few things in a race. We'll wait and see if that's going to be the case now. Here comes Bloodwave up the hill. We're in the rain here at Belgium at the beginning of qualifying here. We've got about 14 and a half minutes left on the clock. It doesn't look like that was particularly good there from Bloodwave. Too deep into the end of the Camel Straight. It doesn't look like he's got very much control over this car in the wet whatsoever. He needs to have more control over the car than that, especially in this particular lap. This is about as wet as it's going to be all race, all day, I believe. So with all the cars kicking everything up, should start getting drier as we go along. The track should start evolving. Definitely something that Bloodwave needs to take into account when going through these chicanes. The second of the chicanes he's now through, he's going towards, well, end of the second sector and then Stavolo. As we go down now, he's about to hit through Stavolo. Let's see what he can do. Into the third sector now. Blanchimont the next corner up on the track as we head towards the end of the first lap of qualifying here. And here comes Bloodwave down to the bus stop chicane. Is the time that he's going to be able to put up? Is he going to be able to put up something decent? What is the baseline in this session? To the line goes Bloodwave with a 53.7. We're now seeing what's going on behind us. It looked like Staber did a 54.3. Staber did a 55.5, sorry. Menley's on a 54.3. And then Aston Martin to the line now, 54.9. It's to the line there. Then a Mercedes. So it looks like it's Aries or Steger. It's one of the two, but we're currently watching Natsuma. Steger, 53.9. 2 tenths off of pole so far. The Bloodwave is continuing to hold, but Natsume almost there as well. BR4, 52.8. Appreciate PlayStation Racer. Hello, and Appreciate the like, man. Appreciate the like. Hopefully you'll get to watch this further down the line if you can't stay at the moment. So we got BR4 who's currently on provisional pole position 52.8. Then you got Bloodway 53.7. Nothing really happening further back. Mildy has now left the session because apparently we can't have nice things with people who aren't actually for people to do a lap here. Roller and Dalu both unable to keep their laps valid. So look, Aries also invalidated and Kuta also invalidated. So we're now looking at cars that are right at the back of the grid here. And with that, we're going to have a look at Jack, who actually has invalidated his lap too. So no, we're not. No, we are not. I see what BR4 is doing. If BR4 is continuing to stay out and continue to run his car, let's see if he's got more than enough for one lap, for an extra lap here. He goes through the second chicane here on the second sector. And he's invalidated lap 2 now. What on earth is going on? In terms of the people not being able to keep their lap valid, he was very much down on his time anyway. Steger right now going through the bus stop chicane. I think he's still trying to go for something here. Let's see if he can hold on, maybe improve his lap time. 53.9 is the best lap from him so far. Mildy has joined back in the session. It's a 53.4 there from Steger, and that is enough for second. Natsuma now to the line. He's currently quicker at the moment, and he is going up to a 53.6. So up to third for Natsuma. Let's see what other guys are doing right now. Boba is up by 0.2 of a second. That would put him into a 53. It wouldn't be enough to take him higher than Menley, but it would be a 53 nonetheless. Let's see if he can do anything to the line now. It's a 53.992, so it is in fact 5th place for him right now. I think someone just set a lap there. I'm not entirely sure who. I think it was Miguel actually. Miguel 54.4. Let's see what is continuing to go on here. Roller's on his first line lap. He hasn't invalidated. Let's see if we've got a couple others as well. And we're going to continue watching on. Someone else is in the pits, but I think someone else had a problem trying to enter the pits. It looks like one of the guys have had an absolute massacre of themselves going into the pit lane here at Spa. Roller to the line is a 55.5, better than Stable, but that's about it. And Aries a 52.861, 6 thousandths of a second slower than BR4, but the Mercedes will take that. As we continue on here, Roller's left the session now as well, which is certainly something. We've got 9 minutes left on the clock here. Is currently here as well. Let's see what he's doing. He's invalidated the lap. He was going quicker. Is that not Suma the next one? It is, but he is into the pit lane now, which means there's a Mercedes that's following up. I think that's Steger, and Steger is on an invalid lap. Is he going to start a lap now? No. Yes, he is. Actually, a little bit of a fake out from the pit lane there. Oh, he didn't get too good on the start. That is not how you want to start a flying lap. That might be an aborted lap straight away. That did not look too good on the exit of the final corner there. The exit of the bus stop chicane did not give him much to work with. He slid the car. I don't know how that's going to affect his lap time here. Roller keeps jumping in and out of the session as we go along. You got Steger now toward the end of the first sector. This will be a proper litmus test of where he is on his lap. It's recoverable. It's definitely recoverable. He's only down by a 1/4 of a tenth right now. He needs to get himself on the ball a little bit now, as his teammate is definitely quicker. Is definitely set a quicker time. 0.6 of a second would take Steger to pole position right now. We'll see whether or not he's going to be able to get any of that back in this second and third sector. He needs to find it all in the second and third sector, considering his first is not a great start. Got everyone on the track now. Mildy and Mitchell are both out doing laps as well. Trying to figure out who is and isn't going to get themselves a lap on the board. Mitchell right now in control of the championship now. Steger is 7/10 up. Steger looking to put himself on top of the qualifying sheet so far in this session. 53.4, but he is 7/10 up. He's on charge for a 52 mid. Is he going to be able to do it? Is he going to be able to hold on to it? He goes through the bus stop chicane now. Let's see if he can do this through the final corner. Hopefully he gets a better exit than he did on the prior lap. And he goes to the line now with a 52.4. And that is 4 tenths. Up on pole, well, 4.5 tenths even, up on pole position right now. And then I think that was exactly 1 second to the dot quicker than his prior lap. Which is rather an interesting stat in its own right. Staber 53.4. Nakusa heading towards the line now as well, but he isn't doing anything at this point in time. Let's have a look at what Mitchell and Mildy are doing. Mitchell currently heading towards the line. See if he's got anything to roll with in the wet here. Into the line he goes. It's a 52. It's a 52.2, and that is really good news for Mitchell, who is in control of the championship because Steger, well, it's not Steger, sorry, it's because Stell has taken the week off. Now has a huge opportunity to extend the gap. Both to Stell and to Bloodwave and to BR4 if that's possible. Currently on pole position, Mildy at 52.4 as well. That's enough for third as it stands. We'll see if there's improvements coming anyone else's way as we go through the end of this lap. Menley's is currently on a lap as well. Let's have a look. Oh, Menley's invalidated it. Never mind. Didn't even get to come back onto him. Baraka has now joined the lobby. So we will get a flying lap from the guy that is definitely the quickest in this league. Steger is also in the process of a lap, but we'll continue to watch big turns here for now. Benny Brunner also out on track just in front of us, so keep an eye out on what time he's doing. As we now head into the second sector, Big Turns is currently 4 tenths up on his time. That would be enough to jump him at least 6 positions. So we'll figure out what is and isn't going to happen as we go along in the lap time here with Big Turns. As he going through LeBlanchemont now, down towards the bus stop chicane. Needs to get something right here. He's ahead of his teammate at the moment. He needs to get a few tenths of a second to drop him into the top 6, especially into the top 5. If he can do it, it's a 53.3. It's not good enough for the top 5, but definitely good enough for the top 6. An entire tenth quicker than Staber as a result. Mildy into the pits, BR4, currently 4 tenths up on his time. And quite frankly, he's only through 1 sector. This could be a barnstormer of a time here from BR4. There's someone parked on the track, and Aston Martin getting out the way. Oh, it didn't look too great going into Stavolo there from BR4, but it definitely isn't going to impact him too much because he is definitely on the track when the track is at its current best it's been so far in this qualifying session. Which means he was 4 tenths down. He's 6 tenths down on Mitchell. Needs to find a little bit of time. Can he get it through the final couple of sectors? No, he's in the pits. He aborted the time, aborted the lap. Which means Mitchell's going to hold on for a little while longer. Natsume's invalidated it again. Menley's also out on track right now. He has got a front wing. I thought that just looked very weird as we're going through. Boba's currently out on an out lap. That's the car coming up to the line now, I think. And then we've got Aston Martin there as well, which I think is Jack. Yes, it is. As we've got a few guys heading towards the final corners of their outlap. We're going to continue to look at Menley, who's currently 1.7 seconds up. 1.7 seconds, not quite enough for a provisional pole position. Someone needed to get out of his way. It's his teammate that does eventually get out of his way. Menley's 1.7 seconds would take him to a 52.3. That would be enough for second. if he can hold on. Now he goes around the final corner. What can he do to the line? It's going to be good. It's going to be a 52-1. And that is enough for provisional pole position there for Menlid. An absolute great lap there from the Red Bull. Is not going to be complaining with that anytime soon whatsoever. Natsume needs to get a second lap done at some point in the next half a dozen years. And we've also got the big man now on a lap. Here comes the one we're all waiting on. All eyes on definitely the fastest driver in the tier. Let's see if he can live up to that moniker. The only one without a lap time so far. The rest of the 19 have definitely put something up through the first 17 minutes of this qualifying session. Minute 26 left on the clock. We are well and truly into our final laps now. We get to see whether or not Baraka is going to be an absolute barnstorm here. He's only got one lap to do it in. He needs to keep it valid. He needs to post a time, albeit he probably could work from the back if he chose to. But he isn't going to, because he is putting up a time right now. Boba 52.2. That is 1,000th quicker than Mitchell's time, so it's still enough for second place. Menley's in control of this qualifying session so far. How and when is that going to change? Because this track looks like it's getting better and better by the second. We have to figure out now as Baraka 20.8 through the second sector. He's probably going to be the baseline to see if who can catch him as we continue through. So the people at the front are hoping he makes a mistake. Someone else just set a time there. I think it was Staber, 52.353. And there goes Natsume, who finally sets another lap of 51.8. Finally gets it going and doesn't invalidate his lap, where Baraka gets to the line on his flying lap and does a 50.7. And there is your benchmark. Good luck, everyone else. Baraka has finished it. Mitchell did not get to the line and got to 52.2. That's going to be extremely disappointing for him there in the entire way. Roller is going to be the back of the grid. Staber is here, but let's see if it's the other one. Alu is out of time, out of chances now as well. I think that means that is the next one, if I can find the Aston Martin, as he comes to the line now and does a 52.7 to take him to 9th. And we go to the Alpine next, which means it's Miguel to the line next, who's invalidated his lap, so he's out of time. Is it going to be Steger to the line now? It is going to be Steger to the line. He's the next one. Can he do something? He's 5 tenths up. Is this good enough? It's good enough for second to 51.6. He is not going to be complaining with that. There's an Haas to the line next as well. I think that might have been Big Turns. Actually, no, that was Boba that's come to the line. Here comes Bloodwave, who needs to get something, who does get something, and does put himself on the second row, 51.8. Pretty good time so far. Mildy's currently up on his time. I think Harry just jumped himself into 5th. Jack into 7th. Mitchell just being punched all the way down right now, and Bloodwave is loving that sight, because that means he is currently in control at this point in time. Bearing in mind, I think it was only 6 points that split the two of them to begin with. Mitchell currently starting in 11th, can only start as low as 12th. Natsume done a lap, well, he's about to finish it off. He's finished off, and Mildy to the line now. What is he going to do at 51.9? That's going to drop Mitchell another place. 7th for Mildy, 12th for the current championship leader. So, Baraka on pole position by half a second. BR4, 51.2, sits alongside him on the front row. Steger in 3rd. And Bloodwave in 4th. Decent second row there. Staber and Natsume, 5th and 6th. So, Staber put himself in a really good position. 6 thousandths of a second behind Bloodwave. Then you got Mildy in 7th. Aries in 8th. Those two split by 17 thousandths of a second. Boba in 9th. Jack in 10th, split by a 4,000th of a second. Menley in 11th, Mitchell in 12th, Benny in 13th, Ermin 14th, Nakuzda in 15th, Alu in 16th, Big Ten in 17th, P Shadow in 18th, Miguel in 19th, and Roller, well, 4.5 seconds off the pace here in 20th. And we're now ready to head into the fight, into the actual race. Oh, things are heating up in the chat right now. Alu and Shadow are not exactly best friends at the moment. I don't think. I think someone was picking up on the fact that Menley's also retired on the track. So we'll figure that out as we go along. Maybe a couple of penalties handed out in this qualifying session, by the sounds of things. Also getting ready for strategies and everything like that. So it shouldn't be too long before we get started in this race. 22 laps of Belgium. We're just figuring everything out now, and it looks like we're going to get going very soon. 4, 5, red lights. It lights out and away we go. Who's going to get a better start down toward turn 1? And I think the answer to that is BR4, because round the outside he goes on Baraka. Baraka still holding on. We've got yellow flags already in this one, and that's a Ferrari who is not going to have a nice time. Big Turns hasn't started the car. Big Turns has been disqualified for literally not starting the car, which is an interesting one to be disqualified for. But yeah, we're going through, trying to figure out what's going on at the start of this race. We've got a battle left, right, and centre. Mitchell already up a couple of positions. BR4 in the lead of the race. Steger's getting into problems with a bunch of the guys, and Staber's not going to be too happy with that, as he's now got no front wing. He's the one that is in the worst position out of what happened to Steger, as they went 3 wide between him, Baraka, and Bloodwave, I'm pretty sure. We've got battles in the midfield here as well. Mitchell and Menley's are having a little bit of a spat going down the hill here into Pouon. And we're now going onto the inside for Mitchell, who goes past Benny, who loses out a couple of positions there. In this one is just an absolute chaos of a start. Somehow no yellow flag, no red flag, not red flags, safety card, sorry, or any sort in the beginning of this race, which is rather impressive. So we've got Aries now going after Bloodwave after things that happened in the start. Steger got caught up, nearly span, good, and then Staber hit the back of him, which damaged Staber's front wing. So I don't think Staber's going to be too happy. BR4 and Baraka are already in the distance. Yellow flag in sector 3. Natsuma's out of the race. And that is a safety car. And we're already under safety car conditions, and it's lap 1. Wow. Well, we're under lap 1 safety car. We're lap 2 safety car now. Wow, Natsume doing well in qualifying. Provided he actually kept the car within limits. He's already out of this race, and he is not going to be too happy about that. Let's see if anything is actually happening here. No comments so far in the chat. Everyone's got to go around and catch up to the safety car again. Let's see what the tires were. Let's see what tires we're looking at now then. So the back 4 pitted onto hard tires. Mildy, Staber, Miguel, and Alu. Those 3 pitted onto hard. Alu onto the mediums. We'll figure out what is going on. Big Turn's also out because he did not get his car started at all. Which is unfortunate for him. Still under a safety car. Roller's up in the 14th. Nakuza in 13th. Nakuza in 12th, both on the softs. So you got Jack on the mediums in 11th. Shadow on softs in 10th. Benny in mediums in 9th. Mitchell on the hards in 8th, which is an interesting choice. Also mirrors the choice that happened with Bloodwave here. Boba and Menley both on soft 6th and 7th right now. Steger and Aries both on the medium tyres. Both Mercedes. No split strategy there. Then you got Baraka on the softs and BR4 on the medium tyre as well. We'll get to figure out what is going on, how everything is going to unfold here at the start of this race. Jack has gone into the pits, so maybe a lap late considering what he should have done. It shouldn't be much longer of this safety car. This should probably be the only lap you're getting under the actual safety car. Maybe one more if the game isn't exactly happy with us for whatever reason. The other cars all caught up by the time we hit Stavolo for sure. But it does mean everyone's gonna bunch back up. Baraka and BR4 already broke DRS before the safety car. I wouldn't imagine it taking too long for them to do it again, but if you're BR4, you wanted all the gap you could possibly get. And he has a chance to build one now. We've got about half a lap left. This shouldn't be taking too long. Alu should be on the back of the grid sooner rather than later here. Then we'll see whether or not the game decides to bring this in before at Stavolo. Mitchell's not complaining with that start either. He gained a few positions. Let's have a quick look at the positions gained here. As 8 for Shadow. Shadow's the big winner out of all of that then, isn't he? And the safety car is going to come in this lap. The big losers, Staber and Mildy. Staber gets away with the fact there's damage on lap 1. From the Steger situation, because of the early safety car, means that he isn't going to lose an awful lot of time there and possibly has a chance to go to the end. So we are now in when BR4 allows it to. And we'll wait and see when BR4 chooses to go in. He's going now, and we're off. We're off again. I'm not entirely sure if Baraka was paying much attention, but he's given him enough time to get close once again. I'm pretty sure he could have got away with doing that in the bus stop, and he would have caught him sleeping just as much. But for now, BR4 has got 0.6 of a second on Baraka, and that is about as good as you're going to get in terms of a safety car restart here against one of the quickest guys we have. Jack's got past Miguel at the start of this lap 4. Menley's is also the closest car on track right now, apart from Mildy, who's going after the group at the back. Staber's one of those cars that he's going after right now. And then you've got Roller and Jack in the middle, a little bit further forward as Jack gets past him down the Kemmel straight there. The Aston Martin is starting to work his way back through. And obviously we'll have the benefit of a pit stop later on, but with a lot worse tyres. And that'll be the trade-off. Benny is the one that Natsume is not happy with in terms of... Oh, we're on the safety car again! We've just come out of safety car. What has happened this time? There's a front wing on the front of Shadow. Not entirely sure why the safety car's come out this time. I'm not entirely sure why this safety car's come out. Oh, there's no front wing left on that car. Never mind. The one that's got no front wing now, and I think P Shadow was the one that spanned. So 2 and 2 together probably means that those two were in the same collision. And gets away with the fact that the safety car came out straight away. No one can overtake him until he goes into the pit lane, which he obviously will do. BR4 is probably screwing with a few people right now. And yep, as we expected, in comes M. Wow, Jack isn't going to be too disappointed with a safety car here, I don't think. However, there's going to be a two-stop race for some people in this race. Steger onto softs, Menley's onto softs from here on out. I think that's Nakuza onto softs as well. Roller and Erm both onto, well, one onto medium tires, one onto hard tires actually. Roller onto hards, Erm onto the medium to the back of the grid he goes. We're on the safety car and now half the grid has actually pit. We should be about 16 laps through. 16 laps left on the clock, sorry, after the safety car. We'll wait and see what is going to happen here. Just waiting for everyone to start catching up with each other here at the end of this lap. Shouldn't be too difficult for that to happen. We'll wait and see. Is there going to be a safety car called into this lap? Because everyone has caught back up. Is the safety car coming in? No, it is not. So we will do one more lap under this safety car. And that means we are going to get ready to go again at the beginning of lap 7. Yeah, the end of lap 7 is when we're going to start from the safety car again. So time to... now this is a Grand Prix. Whack. Whack. I read out the definition of a Grand Prix. This is no different to what we do in GT. Literally no different. This is literally no different whatsoever. I'm confused. I don't see how this is different at all. I've got into the pits now. But this is just, we've keep going for 2 total laps. 2 total laps in this race. Because we've had the rest of this race in the safety car conditions. We had one with Natsume at the beginning, and then I believe and Shadow at the other incident that brought out the second safety car. There can only be 5 safety cars in any particular race, I'm pretty sure. So we're 2 down already. Had the potential to actually have the entire race under a safety car at this rate. Wait and see what is going to unfold on the at the beginning of at the end of the safety car. So I don't even know if the order has changed an awful lot. It's mainly because the pit stops of the order has changed, but the order is as of right now, BR4 Yeah, everyone down the jack has made a stop. So the top 6 still need to make a stop at some point. BR4 from Baraka, from Bloodwave, from Aries, from Mitchell, from Benny is your top 6 in terms of who has and hasn't stopped. Safety cars coming in this lap. We will be back with BR4 again, who hopes to get just as good of a start as he could get last time, when he got at least 6 or 7 tenths of a second on the group, on the rest of the group at the beginning of the last safety car, and on Baraka in particular, because Baraka is the one to beat in this race. And Mitchell will be looking at both BR4 and Bloodwave and trying to fashion a way around, because he's currently in the lead of the championship, but it's only 6 points to Bloodwave in this championship at the moment. And here comes BR4 again, kind of caught Baraka sleeping just a little bit again, but it's nowhere near as much this time, and Baraka's got a far better bus stop chicane, and he's a lot closer on the exit of this one. Down into turn 1 we go. BR4 is only 3 tenths of a second clear this time. Baraka is a ton closer, half the distance to be exact. And he's got a long way to go to defend this against Baraka on those tyres. We'll see if Baraka's going to go for this really quickly. He's going to use the slipstream with a sloth tyre advantage as well. He's going to make this look easy, and he's already overtaken BR4 as we go into the Lacombe chicane, and it did not look too good there on the safety car restart. BR4 just, you can do the same thing once, you have to get creative the second time. He tried the same thing again and got punished for it this time. Baraka is definitely in the business today. He wants to show what he's got. Wants to maintain the spot that he's created for himself whenever he shows up to races here in ALR. Also got Aries, who's also started trying to make a name for himself in the tier, right on the back of Bloodwave, and he's trying to force his way through right now. Aries on the medium tyre compared to Bloodwave on the hards. We'll see if there's going to be anything fashioned, an opening fashioned here maybe. Jack got past Benny in the last lap or so as well, but we'll currently switch Benny and Staber. And there's a little bit of contact between the two of them there, as Staber gets a little bit late on the brakes now. Is he going to be able to hold on the inside? And he definitely is. That's a nice little move there from Staber on the inside of the bus stop chicane. Steger not able to get through. Not able to follow the hole. Menley's picked up 3 seconds, but he is going to follow the hole now as Steger goes very deep. Almost collides with Benny, almost collides with Staber, and has to take evasive action from the both of them and hands both positions back. As we head back up the hill now, all the way back to the front of the grid, with BR4 and Baraka just in front of him. Baraka has the lead of the race so far, then you got Bloodwave just behind that. Aries just further behind that as well. Mitchell trying to tag himself along in the medium tyre. We got a yellow flag. We have a yellow flag. We have a virtual safety car with 2 cars in the wall. And that is Mildy and Miguel. Miguel on his debut is in the wall. And he's not going to be too happy with that. And he's got no front wing, which brings out safety car number 3. And there's no front wing on Mildy's car either. Both in the wall. Both will have to pit. And we'll see where that one goes later on. But we're in safety car number 3. We'll wait and see how everything is gonna unfold here. Are people going into the pits? That's the real question here. You know, Baraka from BR4. Baraka dives in. BR4's going in as well. So is Aries, Mitchell, the top 6 all into the pits. I can only assume for those that are on medium tires right now, that goes the hards. The ones to the hards, putting on the mediums. Baraka has a free choice. Baraka onto the mediums. 4 cars have stayed out. 5 cars have stayed out from their pit stops earlier in this race. Under the prior safety car, Baraka onto mediums. BR4 onto hards. Mediums for both for Bloodwave, Mitchell, Jack, and Staber as well. And everyone and anybody just gone into the pits now. As we watch everyone come back to the safety car once again. So we've had 3 safety cars in this race. But it's, so yeah, we're going through now, just waiting for everyone to come back into the line. The grid looks very different this time. We'll wait and see if other people choose to pit as well. But the grid looks very, very different to the time this time to the time beforehand. Could anticipate a little bit of more drama this time around then. Safety car might come in this time. We'll wait and see. Going around into just about to head into the corner before down below now into the beginning of the 3rd sector. No safety car call, so Alu and P Shadow for some reason are trying to overtake each other under a safety car. That definitely can't stick. I'll say that much. So we will be going at the beginning of lap 11, which will take us into what? Halfway through the race with about 4 laps total of racing, which is always an interesting sign. Alright, we're still going through. We've got to go through another entire lap now on the soft tire, not on the soft tire, so on the safety car. Definitely looking like a soft tire to me. I don't know what you mean. Yeah, under the safety car, still got another lap to go before we can get going. But this is the grid that we've got going into the end of the 3rd safety car. So Boba is your new race leader. And you've got Nakuta in 2nd, Alu in 3rd, Shadow in 4th, Erm in 5th, Baraka in 6th after a strong start. Now BR4 in 7th, Bloodwave in 8th, Aries in 9th, Mitchell in 10th, Jack in 11th, Staber in 12th, Benny 13th, Steger 14th, Menley has a penalty in 15th, Millsy in 16th, Miguel in 17th, and Roller at the rear of the field. We're going through and figure out how this safety car is going to play out. Alright, here we go. We're about to see that safety car in the pits message pop up. About to hit the end of the 3rd sector. And there you go, safety car in this lap message has popped up. So we are about to get ready to go again here in Tier 1 for the 4th time in this race. We'll figure out what is going to happen. Boba is getting everyone all the way backed up. And there's no hope of that safety car ever being a problem at this point. The real question is, we saw at the beginning of the other two safety cars that BR4 went at the beginning of the bus stop chicane. Or went before the bus stop chicane even came into play. Let's see what Boba does. We'll see whether or not people are going to be able to catch up here. I think he's gone. I think he's caught Nakuta sleeping. He's definitely caught Nakuta sleeping here. They go through the bus stop chicane and he got an entire second in hand. What a start. And there's 5 seconds worth of penalties there for Menley's a severe collision with Steger. And it's already a case that we've had someone hit someone else and we haven't even started the race again yet. And BR4 now needs to get some catching up to do because Baraka's passed them without a problem. And definitely got it done very, very quickly. Shadow is the next one in line for Baraka, who's just going to fly through the field like everyone doesn't exist now. Here comes who's going to try and fight back against the Alpine. To the inside goes against Baraka on the outside now. And he doesn't actually go for it, which is rather surprising. He looked like he was alongside or enough alongside to have at least have a go at Baraka there. The tyre is definitely in Baraka's favour right now though, as we're currently on lap 11 of 22, and it looks like Shadow and Baraka are going at it now, and Shadow not able to defend from the Alpine at all here, and that will mean that Shadow is not, well, Shadow's dropping a position and Baraka is putting more breathing space in as Shadow goes into the wall, and I think we might be bringing out another one, and we are bringing out, Jesus in Christ, it's the 4th safety car in 11 laps. You have got to be kidding me. It's fine, lads. Didn't want to commentate a race. I wanted to commentate 13 laps behind a safety car. This is incredible. This is worse than GT Tier 3. Well, it's certainly something. It's certainly something. This is how GT would be if we had safety cars. This is what I would like to point out. Now Baraka's just going to stay out. Baraka resumes the lead of the race rather easily here. Terminator stays out as well. It's an interesting choice from him. And that is an AlphaTauri, Shadow. You can't go into the back of the car in front of you. It's not allowed. That should be a 5-second penalty. He's got a front wing to change on that Ferrari, which means he'll be almost to the back of the grid. Is there a front wing on this Red Bull? There's enough of a front wing on this Red Bull for him to stay out. As we're currently on safety cars, Menley is currently in last. So, a couple of I think if I've counted right, it's 5 laps total in what will be 14 laps of racing. That's an absolute joke. That is an absolute joke. You know, when some people say that when me and Gunmad were joking earlier, he's saying it was a Sunday stroll for Peaky. For those who watched the GT stream earlier, Jesus Christ, I think he got the wrong race. I think this one might be the definition of a Sunday stroll. There's nothing happening. Nothing can happen. Every 5 seconds there's a new fucking safety car. This is an absolute joke. We can't call this racing. There isn't any racing to call racing. It's just, what the actual fuck? We're on lap 13, the safety car didn't go in, so we will be starting at the beginning of 14. We will be starting this race, I might as well say for real, at the beginning of 14 at this point. I don't know what the hell I'm even looking at. Prowler's picked up 5 seconds of crashing with Mildy now. This is just calamitous. I think there was meant to be a race in here somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where that race was meant to be, but there was meant to be a race in here somewhere. There's going to be about 8 laps of racing total left in this race. Nine at most. Yeah, 9 laps of racing. We've done 13 laps under the save. 13 laps. We'll have just over half the race as actual racing. That's not a joke. I don't know what the hell is. I'm not gonna lie. I think a rain race would have been quicker at this point. And there's your safety car in this lap. So, it's Baraka from Bloodway, from Aries, from Mitchell, then Jack, Staber, Miguel, Nakusta, Alu, Boba, BR4 all the way in 12th, which is a rather interesting place in the B. Stagger in 13th, Benny in 14th, Mildy in 15th, Roller in 16th, Shadow in 17th, and Menley's rears the field as we are ready to go racing again on Baraka's dime. Let's see how well we can catch out here. Let's see if is going to be paying attention to this whatsoever. He is never usually good on the safety car restarts, and you can notch another one up from not being good on safety car restarts. That is impressive. 0.8 of a second. Was just not paying any sort of attention to Baraka at all there, which is incredible given the fact that he was second in the race. It's already a second that splits Baraka and the rest of the field. And that should, be all, for all intents and purposes, game over. Definitely isn't catching up, and the rest of the grid is too far back after they get past them for this to matter. So provided there isn't safety car number 5, you are allowed 5 safety cars in a race. I don't know if that is included with the virtual safety cars. We technically did have a virtual safety car before we had one of the third safety car. We'll wait and see whether or not that counts. Bloodwave on the outside of here, and Bloodwave around the outside makes it stick. Up into second he goes. And we also have Alu and Boba getting overtaken left, right, and centre as well up front. Alu overtaken by a few people. Steger's the next one on the list who just blasts on by. Boba up and BR4 up, same with Steger as well. And picks up 3 seconds worth of track limits because he'd apparently forgotten how to drive at the start of this race, because there goes Jack as well, his Aston Martin teammate. Or a teammate for the day at the very least. Staber, the next car in line. We'll wait and see what is going to happen here in this one. Is just not enjoying his time here whatsoever, and Staber is the next one on the list for him. And it looks like Staber is going to take advantage of it. Here he goes to the outside here, down towards the Blanchimont here in lap 14, and Staber doesn't even wait to Blanchimont here to get that move done, and makes it stick on well before it. Up into 6th goes Staber. Baraka has a 2.8 second gap, which is definitely insurmountable without another safety car. As I think Miguel gets past them now as well, and he does. It doesn't really make it difficult either. BR4 and Akusa going fighting as they go into turn one. BR4 is just forced ever so slightly off the track as someone else is out of the race, and is out. And I think that might be another safety car. No, somehow it's not. Somehow it's not another safety car. That is impressive in its own right. I was dead set on that being another safety car. Here come Mitchell and Jack. Those two are going to fight it down to the inside here, and Jack almost collects the inside right on Mitchell's Ferrari, but it was well driven by the two of them to get out of that alive. Baraka well out in front against Bloodwave. Bloodwave behind that. Shadow picks up 3 seconds worth of track limit penalties now as well. Waller's just about going to get past them as he's now going through La Sauce and up towards Rouge and then Radion after that. Mitchell has definitely opened a gap now on Jack. Didn't really take an awful lot of time after that, after the battle in the end of the Camel Straight. A lot of changes of position soon to come up, I think. We got Boba and Miguel fighting out. BR4 and Nakuza still going at each other as well. A couple of cars on the back of BR4 looking for a bit of the action as well. Aries is trying to get himself involved. Here comes Boba on Miguel, and Boba's made that look easy down the straight here. Up in the 7th goes Boba. It's his next target is Stabo for a top 6 finish in this race. DRS has finally been enabled, and I think that might be the first time we've seen that all race. And we're on lap 16. That is absolutely incredible. But Bloodwave is currently nailing his laps right now because he is actually bringing the time down on Baraka, and Alu drops a couple of positions now as well, as he is not having a fun time in turn 1. Yeah, he drops the position, another one the men lead as well. As they now head up the hill, and Milsey is the next one in line to have a shot here at Alu. See if he's going to be able to do it. Jack gets in front of Mitchell as well. And Bloodwave is loving this side at the moment. Here comes Mildy on the outside of Alu, and that looks incredible on the outside. Alu went a bit deep, but nonetheless, that is incredible from Mildy to go round the outside at the end of the Camel Straight. Absolutely it's just beautiful driving there. From both of them, actually. One to keep them both alive, and then one for Millsy just to absolutely launch one round the outside. As Staber picks up 3 seconds, which is not good news. It will drop him all the way back behind BR4 as it stands. We're currently watching Mitchell and Jack fight it out as they go through their battle for 4th place at the moment. There's no real position. They're getting further than that. Baraka gaining 0.3 on Bloodwave in the last lap. It just looks like the earliest pushbacks from Bloodwave are starting to fade. Aries will take a podium if he can get one as well. He needs the points on the board right now. And there's a Staber who's trying to get himself involved here with Mitchell, and Boba on the inside, who was almost blocked in and almost shoved off the track. Just a little bit there, almost come together with Staber and lost out massively. Staber will hold on to that position. Jack gets a little bit squirrely. Same with Staber at La Sauce as we head down now towards Rouge and Radion afterwards. Mitchell will have the DRS. He will have the chance to go after Jack here. Whether or not he's close enough is a different question. And Jack is starting to close the gap in down on Aries now as we head down towards the corner. BR4 gets past Miguel. And yeah, he gets it done before the end of the Camel Straight as well. So up into 8th goes BR4. Mitchell a couple of positions ahead of that. And bearing in mind, Mitchell is ahead of BR4 in the championship. I think it's about 7 or 8 points between the two of those in the beginning of the day. Yellow flag in sector 2 is a Ferrari as Shadow has gone round again. There's no more safety cars in this race, I don't think. I think we have used the allotted 5. It's absolutely crazy. And Shadow finally gets himself back up and running again. Staber holding off, and Shadow's out of the session entirely. Never mind. We haven't had him back and up and running. He is out of the session here. Obviously no safety car available there. They got the car out of the way, and Boba's got past Staber. Boba makes that look relatively easy with the use of the slipstream into Blanchimont, and it looks like he's going to hang himself up there in 6th for the moment in time. Mitchell right on the back of Jack, with Boba on the back of Mitchell. Staber there as well. BR4 trying to make his way through. Needs to find his way through sooner rather than later. He is currently losing ground on everyone. Here comes BR4 to the inside of Staber. Can he get something done on the inside of turn 1 here? It doesn't look like the Mercedes in the background is having much of a fun time either, as he is starting to slide around just a little bit. The two Red Bulls, 12th and 13th right now, not enjoying their time in this race either. It looks like Mitchell is a lot closer to Jack than he was on this tire at this point on the last lap. As we now go to the end of the Kemmel Straight, and Mitchell gets it done on Jack, takes 4th position back on lap 18 of 22. And Aries isn't complaining, because the more these guys fight behind, the more chance he's holding onto a podium. BR4 and Boba going after each other, and BR4 is just picking them off one by one right now. And I don't think he's too disappointed with the way he's come back either. Especially in this one, was in 12th, now back up into 6th, had the chance to go fighting with this Aston Martin and the Ferrari sooner rather than later, unless this Ferrari is starting to bring a little bit of a gap. He needs to get that gap to within 1 second of Aries realistically to make sure that he won't be on the threat in a lap or 2 time here. Especially with BL4 on the back, and there goes Medley's out the race now. And we are definitely out of safety car, because that definitely would be a safety car. We are down 5 drivers in this. So that's my remote dying as BR4 goes to the inside here on Jack and gets that position done as well. Mitchell's not complaining, because they're both outside of DRS range now, as Mitchell is within DRS range of the podium position, which won't be too bad for him, given the fact that he'll cut the deficit that Bloodwave can do into him, and BR4 is currently not quick enough to hold off Jack, possibly not even quick enough to hold off Boba for a split second there. Mildy and Benny going at it. I think Mildy's got the upper hand in that one right now. Boba's got to the outside of BR4. BR4 able to hold on for now though. Jack also doing a number on BR4 right now. BR4 needs to get in front of Jack before he can think of going towards Mitchell and the podium positions, as Mitchell is just now starting to put a massive dent into Aries for a podium position in this race. Baraka 3 seconds ahead of Bloodwave. Comfortable for Baraka since the safety car restart with M, who has apparently is just not in a position to actually realise that people start on a safety car restart. Here comes BR4 looking for a move now. Can he get it done before we hit Blanchimont? And can he get it done before the bus stop? He's not going to get it done at all. Here comes Jack on the inside to defend from BR4 with all of his might here. It won't be something that lasts for too long here, because BR4 is going to get a couple of doses of DRS really quickly. But he is going to be able to hold on for now. Mitchell is right up against Aries further up the grid. That should be a rather interesting tale for the start of the Kemmel Straight. It looked like a tale that we're going to go to straight away. Here comes Mitchell against Aries, as he's going to the inside of the Mercedes here. And with the DRS, it's going to look extremely easy, as Jack is also holding on. BR4 and Boba trying to make the way through, and one will and one won't. BR4 gets through rather easily. Boba, unfortunately, not able to do so. Staber almost tried his way through here. Now comes Steger to the inside. Can Steger get the inside of Staber? He will do. He will do. Into the final corner, well, into the first corner of Sector 2 there. Well, I say it's not like the fourth corner of Sector 2. Can't tell the current track map apart here. It looks like we're into the part of the track now where there's not going to be a lot of overtakes, just a case of whether or not cars can stick with each other. Steger, the one currently sticking with Boba, as they continue to try and fight their way through. BR4 1.8 seconds behind Aries, who's starting to lose grip on Mitchell as well. Mitchell looking for a solid podium here. Baraka, Bloodwave and Mitchell, three of the fastest drivers definitely in this entire league, and being awarded with a adequate position here. As we are now on lap 21 of 22 here, with people starting to head onto lap 21. Baraka already through La Source. And then you got Bloodwave there in second, currently 3.3 seconds ahead of Mitchell here. We're currently watching on the screen with Aries just behind him. Aries dropped out of DRS. BR4 2 seconds back, isn't really going to make any sort of dents in that, or enough of a dent in that to actually get in front by the time the end of lap 22. So now we're now looking at fights in the background as Staber is now under fire from Miguel. And did you going to get it? They're going to be side by side effectively into this. It's actually Steger, sorry. I can't read. It is Steger that's going with Staber here. And it looks like Steger has finally got past Staber. It did take Staber making a bit of a fuck up though in order to make it happen. And then you got Boba, who got in front of Jack as well. 3-lap pressure tyres are doing the damage now to Jack, who was looking on for a top 5 finish. It now going to be barely holding on to a top 8. Alu picks up 3 seconds now in 14th, but he is 45 seconds ahead of Roller, so that will be a mute penalty. And we go for the grid. It's only realistically a battle here. The current battle we're watching for 6th place. Also a battle there for the start for 9th as well. Or for 10th even, because Miguel is just too far off the back of Staber right now. Jack is now also out of the DRS range here on Boba, who's just starting to get a clear gap. Steger just starting to ease his way in now as well as we head to lap 22. If he's going to get Jack, it's now or never. Especially down the end of the Camel Straight will realistically be the last chance he gets, if he can do it at all. It's half a second right now that splits them. If he can get closer down through, up through Rouge and then Radion, he might be able to make a really good go at it. Mildy got past Benny, as they're currently fighting with Miguel for 10th, the final point scoring position here. And Steger is not close enough. Staber is having a good look as well. Mildy does get past Miguel, and so will Benny, who tries to go for it, and now force Miguel off the track. He has to give up the place to not be corner cutting and taking advantage. That's unfortunate there for Miguel, who loses out on both positions there. Could have had a point on his debut. As a whole in this race, we've had all the safety cars you could have ever imagined. Absolute lunacy in terms of some of the driving. 5 people crashing. We could have easily had a couple of more safety cars, but the game doesn't cap the amount of safety cars you can actually get in a race. And there goes Steger, who's gone round! And Steger's gone round, and there goes the points for Steger! And with a last minute mistake, as Baraka is now going to go round the final corner and wins fairly comfortably in the end. When we actually got racing, Bloodwave gets second, Mitchell will take third, but nicely. Aries will take 4th, just about beats out BR4 in the end, who gets 5th. Boba gets 6th, Jack will get 7th, Mildy will get 8th, as he's going to get over the line with enough of a run anyway. Stable will get 9th, Benny will get 10th, Miguel will get 11th, Nakuza in 12th, Steger cost himself a point at the very end. Alu will end in 14th here versus over the line. And then you've got Roller, who's 47 seconds off the back, and will end up bringing this race to a close. And then, just like that, Also, it got very dark very quickly towards the end. If we were doing 100% race, I would have been convinced that would have ended up raining. After all that, that is how we end up. Collisions, safety cars, you name it. You name it, we had it, that's for sure. Wow. Well, in the eight or 9 laps of actual racing we got, there was a lot to digest. In the end, it ends in the same way it usually does when he shows up. Baraka ending up on the top step. Mitchell won't be complaining. His lead wasn't eaten into all that much. But Bloodwave does close the gap on the lead of the championship. At the end of the day, though, the Ferrari man, Mitchell, will end the day on top of the world here in Tier 1. In terms of the championship, and Baraka on top of the world in terms of the race here at Spa. And with that, with one last look at the rest of the grid, Steger ended 13th because he ended up quitting for some reason. Yeah, with one last look at the grid, I will leave you guys there. I'll see you guys next Sunday for another glorious race of F1 in a bit.